Look, have you ever wondered, like, why is there a book quoted in the Bible that isn't included in most Bibles? Like, it's called the Book of Enoch, right? For centuries, it has fascinated historians, theologians, and anyone interested in ancient mysteries, right? Some people believe it contains hidden knowledge that was intentionally removed. Others say it was never meant to be in a part of the Bible in the first place. I pause for that second, though, just so you can catch it. So what's the truth? Let's separate history from speculation. The Book of Enoch is named after Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. In the book of Genesis, Enoch is one of the most mysterious figures in the Bible. Look, the Bible tells us that Enoch walked with God, and then simply says that God took him. And very little else is revealed. That mystery inspired generations of writers, right? Generations of writers from all over the world. The Book of Enoch expands on Enoch's story, describing visions of heaven, angels, judgment, and the future of humanity. But most scholars believe the book was written between 300 BC and 100 BC, long after the historical Enoch would have lived. That means Enoch himself is not believed to have written it. Instead, the book is considered an example of Poseidon figure, meaning it was written under the name of a famous biblical figure, a common practice in parts of the ancient world. Excuse me if I got that wrong, because that, you know what I'm talking about. One of the most famous sections tells the story of the Watchers. According to the text, a group of angels descended to earth, took human wives, taught humanity forbidden knowledge. Their children became the Nephilim, described as giants. If that sounds familiar, let me know in the comment section. But also, it's because Genesis chapter 6 briefly mentions the sons of God, the daughters of men, and the Nephilim. The Book of Enoch expands dramatically on that short biblical passage. That's one reason it has attracted so much attention. Now, here's something many people don't know. The Book of Enoch is actually quoted in the New Testament. In the book of Jude, verses 14 and 15 closely echo a passage found in 1 Enoch. That doesn't necessarily mean that every part of Enoch was accepted as scripture. Ancient writers sometimes quoted works that were respected or widely known without treating the entire book as canonical, right? So why isn't it included in most modern Bibles? The answer is a combination of history, theology, and tradition. As different religious communities develop, they recognize different collections of sacred writings. Most Jewish traditions did not include the Book of Enoch in their biblical canon. Later, most Christian churches followed a similar path. However, there is one major exception. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church has preserved the Book of Enoch as part of its biblical canon for centuries, right? In fact, the complete version we have today survived primarily because it was carefully preserved in the ancient Ethiopian language. Then something remarkable happened in 1947, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered near Qumran, right? Among those ancient manuscripts were portions of the Book of Enoch written in Aramaic, right? This discovery confirmed that the book was widely known as copied by some Jewish communities over 2,000 years ago. That was a major historical discovery. It didn't prove every story in Enoch, it didn't prove every story in Enoch happened, but it did show that the book was far older than some people had assumed. Today, scholars study the Book of Enoch because it helps us understand the beliefs, hopes, and religious ideas circulating during the centuries before Jesus, right? It provides valuable insight into how some ancient communities understood angels, judgment, heaven, and the coming of God's kingdom. At the same time, historians distinguish between a text's historical importance and its religious authority. Those are two different questions, right? So, let me ask you this. Was the Book of Enoch removed to hide secret knowledge? Like, there is no historical evidence of a single conspiracy to remove it. Like, instead, different religious traditions made different decisions over many centuries about which books belong in their biblical canons. The Book of Enoch remains one of the most influential ancient religious writings outside most modern Bibles. Don't get me wrong. Whether you read it as history, religious literature, or ancient symbolism, it continues to raise fascinating questions about one of humanity's oldest spiritual traditions. And look, and maybe that's why people are still talking about it after more than 2,000 years. And more to come, right? Just not because everyone agrees on what it means, it's just because its mysteries continue to inspire curiosity. I mean, we're forever going to keep talking about it. It's a subject that's always brought up. If you enjoy exploring history, ancient texts, archaeology, and evidence, subscribe to the Conscious Signal. Because sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't found by accepting every claim. They're found by understanding where the story really began. Till next time.